Hi, my name's Terry, and today we're going to have a look at making your first flight with the sim. There's also things here you can do when you get your first real plane. So the plane I've picked is the Next Star EP, because most of you will start with an electric airplane. The Next Star is quite a good plane to fly for a beginner anyway. And what we're going to do is I've made the controller larger, so as you can see all the switches and the controllers different settings. What we're going to do is we're going to change the channel 6 dual rates to low. On the right hand side of the controller, the trim switch, we're going to send that all the way down to the bottom. Now that gives us a bit of elevator, not a lot, but just enough to stop the plane from diving. Now we're ready to take off, so just before we take off I'll explain what some of the controls do. First of all, the obvious, you've got your throttle control, move the plane forwards. Your rudder control is there, and that turns the plane to left or right. It will also lean the plane left or right as it's turning. Just be aware of that. This is your ailerons. They'll lean the plane to the left or right, and your elevator, which is to dive and to climb. Okay, so we'll take off now. Just above halfway with the throttle, gently lift back on the elevator. Okay, steady turns. Don't do sharp turns, because what happens is the plane starts to dive straight away. Okay, so we want nice steady turns. We'll take it around and line it up with the runway and come back in for a landing. At this point we're on a base run, so we're going to drop the throttle a little bit and just use the elevator to keep it at the height we want. And as we come round, start turning into the final, we'll drop the accelerator a bit more, and now we're in for a nice landing. A bit further away than what I wanted, but this is no bouncing. Alright, now we'll reset that. Now when you get your first model, you're going to have to trim it in. So first we'll do something with the rudder controls. Now if you get when you get your first plane, and you try taxiing it, if you notice the plane suddenly, if you notice the plane's going off to the side, like it is there, bring the plane back, try trimming it in the opposite direction, and keep trying that. Make sure you're not in a crosswind, by the way. Okay. Then when you do take off, you won't be fighting the plane turning like that all the time. Okay, we'll just reset it. Another thing to look out for is when you're trimming the ailerons. Now this you'll have to do in the air, so again, just over halfway with the throttle, gentle pull back. Now see, it's leaning to the right, and we're having to give left aileron to straighten it. So what we want to do is we want to get it to a nice height before we start trimming it out, because you've got a chance to recover then from adjusting the controls. So bring it, trim it a bit, bring it back straight. Keep looking at the model as you're trimming. Don't let it fly too far away from you. Trim again. And you'll notice that once it's trimmed, it will stay in the direct. It won't be leaning to the right or to the left. Okay. So the other thing is, if you've got too much elevator, so you had too much elevator down, what you're going to find out is that when you take off, you try and trim it, it's gonna be diving and rolling. So you want to make sure that the elevator, this piece here that you can see moving, is in a straight line when it's set up on the ground. Okay, so if it's pitched up or pitched down, you're going to have a lot of problems when you come to flying it. So make sure it's straight, and on your first takeoff, adjust the aileron all the way down. The reason why is coming in, you're not going to be fighting it all the time. See, if I just leave those controls, it gently comes down. Okay, I'm going to try and demonstrate tip stalling to you. Now you'll probably recognise this Piper Cub, and what a lot of people tend to do with this airplane is the turn stall, which I'll demonstrate first. And a turn stall is when you turn the plane at such an angle that the plane starts to drop, like it's doing there. I'll just show you again. Turn it too much of an angle, down it comes. Now the other type of stall is we'll reduce the power, change the pitch of the plane, power off completely, and now it's gone into a stall. Let's do that again. A bit more altitude. Okay. And just there, it's stalled. Now you want to be, if you're practicing stalls, you want to be nice and high, so as you've got altitude to recover from it. So I'm going to going down, recover from it. Now I haven't given it any throttle yet. It's still just gliding. Okay. Something else you can practice while you're on the sim is engine failure and emergency landings. So we'll take our plane up, start to take it around. Anytime you're ready, cut the engine completely. Okay, so what you want to do now is you want to do slight little dives, so it gives you more glide time to bring it round into a better position to land. And the landings may be a bit heavy, but the plane shouldn't be smashed to pieces. as you can see, this one, it was fine, it was just a heavy landing. But there's some things you want to practice with.